Yeah, mate, we're just on our way to Hungary now, just taking off. Yeah, but look, mate, can you just put a press release out for me? Just tell all the other teams we're not selling anybody so they can stop asking. I'm sick of getting all these bids. Yeah. Oh, no, Good Munson's fine. Yeah, we'll sell him.
Singen samman till segersropen Moutan Grindavik. Och jag vet vart nu ger idag.
Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on the Impossible Dream. It is Season 8, Episode 5 today, and we have a Champions League second leg tie coming up against this Hungarian mob. 1-0. We only managed to win at home. It is hanging in the balance. The second game will very much depend on how this first game goes. It could be a Champions League playoff, it could be a Europa League playoff, I think, or depending on how fixture rearrangements go, it could also be a cup game with the Gags. So hopefully we'll win this game and then we'll see where we go from there. Now, there's not been too much to catch you up on. A lot of bids coming in for a lot of our players. We've still got everybody. No one has left as of yet. You can see August 13th in games. So the sort of rest of Europe window has about 2 weeks to go. So that's why I think bids are starting to ramp up a little bit. But we're just going to try and fend off everybody that we can. Now, the only game we have to catch you up on was actually a first versus second in the league. We are facing IA, who are this season's Grindavik, really. So let's go see how we did against them. We had an early lead when Allmarkson picked out Kadlik's run. And Svensson crossed for Thomason to make it 2-0 at half-time. Thomason turned provider for Kadlik to get his second. Before Gull made it 4-0. And Thomason crossed for Kadlik to get his hat-trick. So yeah, for first versus second in the league, it was utter domination. The Leicester spotted good game from Thomason as well, so that was good to see. And yeah, to do that to the second best team in the league right now with what is essentially our second team, albeit some good players. Kedlik's a very good player. Depe is as well. You know, they're first team players. So yeah, it was complete and utter domination. So quick update of the league table. We have guaranteed ourselves a Europa Conference League football. That will obviously turn into Champions League football very quickly as we wrap up this league. And Grindavik still nailed to the bottom. Only 2 points away from safety with a game in hand, 2 games in hand on KA. But yeah, it's looking increasingly as though they're going to go down this year, which would be a massive upset. And like I said before, a big blow to the series, because we need somebody, at least somebody else to go with us in Europe. Maybe IA is going to be that team. We'll find out, I guess. But speaking of Europe, let's go and see what we can do ourselves here. We are expecting a 4-2-3-1, and the team that we're sending out, we can't muck around. We've got to send out the strongest team we've got. So Ravison goes in goal, Immonen, Mosquera, Parisi as the back three, Juleson as the right back, Alvarado as the left back, or wing back I should say, Antonio, Meshalek and Bakali will be the creative trio for Gadini and Bautenson to hopefully bury these chances, because we need goals here. Alright, so we can see the team sheets there. Now, the only transfer that may be happening in terms of outs for us is this guy down here. We signed him from IA. He's not technically good enough for us to want to keep, I don't think. He was one that he was going to leave anyway, so that's why we snapped him up. And so yeah, you can see there, we've got a little bit of a fee, a 50% sell on. I forget who it's with, but we're going to try and move him on. He's the only one that we'll leave. Put on a show out there. I think, let's just play with a little bit of pressure today, because this is a game that, it's essentially our season, isn't it? The league is a bit of a given for us at this point. And, you know, if we lose this, I mean, just winning this game is a huge boost, because we get the Champions League qualifying playoff money, which is several million. So, you know, this game, it's probably 8 million, you know, that is guaranteed here for not just a playoff, but then guaranteed Europa League league phase as well. So there is a lot riding on it, and hopefully we're going to be able to see it through here. Is making the Champions League the be-all and end-all for us? I mean, financially, yes, it is. Obviously, it's very worthwhile making. I do wonder if we were to go into the Europa League, we could probably give that a decent shake at this point, I think. We've seen that we can beat some very good teams, so if we were to find ourselves in the Europa League for a season, I wouldn't necessarily be heartbroken by it, but it's not where we want to be, is it? We want to be in the Champions League, getting that money, being able to attract the players that want to play in it. So yeah, we'll have to, you know, just see how we get something played out here. And Bakali, is he onside? He looked suspiciously offside. Are we going to get a VAR check here? No. He did look, yeah, he's a mile off. All three of them are, actually, it looks like. So, good finish, to be fair. An absolutely cracking finish. But, yeah, it was definitely offside. But we saw in the first leg, if you remember back to last episode, we did create chances. We looked the better team. We just struggled to take them. Obviously, we took chances against IAs. If we can carry that form forward here, then it should all be good. But it was a very different team that played that game. Julison's done well. Oh, it's bouncing around, and it's hit everything but the back of the net. And we'll give them some praise, given that we are winning 1-0. Bakali is looking nervous, and we saw that in the first leg too, didn't we? A lot of nervous-looking players. We're doing well in terms of possession. I think it's set up there in the match stats, 63%. So I do like, obviously, if you've watched me long enough, you know that I do like to keep possession. A little bit, I think, of the Guardiola sort of mentality in that if we have the ball, they can't score. You know, attack is the best form of defence and all that kind of stuff. Gadini over a free kick. Can we get a little bit of Gadini magic? And yes, we can. It's a 16th of the season for Gadini. And when we really needed a goal, it was Gadini that stepped up. And it's a really, it's a stunning free kick, isn't it? It's a thing of beauty. Round the wall, inside the post. And it's 2-0 on aggregate now. And that gives us that little bit of breathing room. Just to help bring down the heart rates a little bit. Only seconds to go in first half stoppage time here. Can we go and get another goal now, which would make life very comfortable for us in the second half? Alvarado, ball in for Gadini, and Gadini's got a double. He is he's the lord of this club, isn't he? A second on the night to make it 3-0. And that should be a comfortable enough lead with 45 minutes to go to us to think that this is, let's not say job done, but it's certainly a little bit more comfortable than it would have been. Now, Bakali only playing a 6-4 and nervous. I wonder what we do with him. Well, we've got to say, don't let complacency creep in here now. We've done very well. I think this team is maybe one of those that's perhaps well organised rather than necessarily a good team. If you know what I mean, like rather than have good players, they're well organised, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, we haven't seen much of a threat from them. Yeah, 65% possession. It feels a little bit like a game now we just need to see out. I am increasingly concerned about Bakali here, though. Let's see what happens from this highlight. Next goal's huge. If it does go to 4-0, then that is that. If they get back to 3-1... do we start to panic a little bit? Perhaps we do, as they've got themselves in and they do have a goal back. Any chance of an offside flag, ref? And the answer to that is no. And, well, who are we going to blame for this one? Parisi is there and he's got to be winning that. Look how much bigger he is. He's an absolute lump. And to get beaten in the air, what looked relatively easily, is disappointing. Bakali, I think we're going to have to call it on you, mate. You are just not showing up for this one. Let's get all marks and on out there. Gadini gets it wide there for Alvarado. Suddenly we have work to do again here, don't we? Baltinson can't quite win the head up. Back for Bakali! Oh, I whacked my knuckles off the desk then as well in my excitement. And that's a tickler. That's a tickler. All right, come on. What we don't want now is another goal to go in with not long to go. Of course, away goals thing of the past, so we don't have that to lean back on. There's a cracking ball for Baltinson. He's in. He goes round the keeper. But the goalkeeper sticks out a big arm, and he's done brilliantly. Oh, that's a little bit unlucky. So it stays 3-1 on aggregate. 2-1 we lead on the night. And, yeah, the Hungarians look as though they have come out of their shells a little bit here, as Alvarado puts some good pressure on. Imminent. We are pressuring them, but they're playing around that right now, and they've got themselves in again here, and it is 3-2 on aggregate. 2-2 on the night, and suddenly we need to focus here, guys, because this game is very much back on. Imminent just caught out. I wonder if we want to, and we've seen Rafferson make better saves than that, haven't we? It doesn't matter if it was given offside, because if it was offside, because it wasn't given offside. Let's maybe just go back to positive. We've got another highlight here, and we're falling in a heap. This has the feeling of a game that is going against us and there's nothing we can do about it. Alvarado lumps it forward. It's Baltinson that picks it up. Can he find Allmarkson in the middle? Baltinson, he's done brilliantly again. He chips it in. It's Machalik. It's bouncing around again. And, well, you'd almost go as far as to say next goal wins. And it is certainly end-to-end just now. And, oh, Mosquera's tried to win that. He's failed. And is it offside? Is it offside? It is offside. It did look offside. Oh, but Mosquera has got to do a little bit better there. And, well, you'd argue their attacker's got to do a little bit better there as well. All right, we are going to change something here. We are going to try and trap them outside because they are playing their way through us just now. I wonder actually if instead of stepping up, if we just drop off as well, make them play through us. Are they good enough to break us down? Baltinson's in again here. Can he wrap this up for us? No. I think I've talked myself into that actually. Out of possession. If we just drop off, rather than, you know, giving them a sort of holes to run, you know, pass and move into, let's make them play through us for 5 minutes. See if they can do that. Parisi heads the ball clear. But still the Hungarians have it. And that is over the top into touch. Grindavik line out. Come on, boys. Let's see this through, please. Let's just see this through. We'll give them some praise. Try and calm things down a little bit. And there it is. Well, that was not the game that we were anticipating. And we've got there in the end. It was looking as though it was going to be quite comfortable. But I'm going to say... well, don't get complacent is definitely something because we weren't actually very good there. So first leg triumph helps Grindavik past the Hungarians, and I will be referring to them as the Hungarians because I cannot say that. And we've got Storm Graz in the playoff. Now that is Austrian opposition, 3.5-star team. That's going to be a big step up again, and well, we're going to need to be at the level we were at in the first two qualifiers and not the game that we just played there. So that will be the next game. It'll be the first leg against Storm Graz away from home this time. So we just need to try and stay in the game. And we'll be back to see if we can do that. Okay, welcome back. Now we have had our youth intake ahead of this game against Storm Graz. There are 3 good players, it looks like. First one, midfielder here is Arneson. Yeah, I mean, he's 16, but there is some good attributes there. Fairly professional as well, so hopefully we'll see him reach that full potential. We've got a centre-back here who looks like he could be quite good as well. Good passing. I'm not as convinced perhaps, but he's professional, so we'll see if he can reach his potential ability there as well. And we also have an attacking midfielder, which is always a good thing to have. Already you can see there some good attributes for him as well. Maybe not physically the best, but a balanced personality. Again, we'll kind of see what we get out of him. There's a couple of others here that will probably sign quite a few of these guys. I think this guy could be decent as well, left winger. So yeah, we'll sign most of these guys, anyone that has a good personality as well. And just kind of see what happens if we can develop them for the league. As ever, these guys I do like to name after Patreon and channel members. So if you are qualifying, there's a link to all that in the description. Let me know and we can get one of these guys renamed for you. Now, we have had a departure as well. I kind of teased this or mentioned this before during the first game there. So Gudmundsson has left. He's gone off to the same team that we sold our goalkeeper to, actually, Andreasen. So he's in Spain. We got 250 up front for him. There's also a 50% sell-on. So 125 grand went to IA because we had a 50%. We gave them 50. And then next fee, again, we'll sort of split half of it with IA half each. So 25% each. So let's hope that a little goes a little way towards turning them a professional team as well. But anyway, there is one game to catch you up on. It was in the league against KA. Now, if we won, we were champions. So let's see if we did it. We had a first half lead when Allmarkson finished some nice build-up play. Dagbert Judson found Cadillac midway through the second half to make it 2-0. Before getting the third himself. So there we go, champions for what I believe is a 6th time. Dagbert Judson, 2 assists and a goal himself. Did really, really well. I more or less, give or take one or two players, played a team of gags just to try and get the match sharpness up ahead of the cup game. So yeah, a really, really good performance from us to get that done. Gadini, Cadlac, and Antonio played just due to player promises. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't enough to keep Cadlac happy. He is unhappy that we weren't playing him as a poacher, even though he's been playing a lot, scoring a lot of goals. He is now unhappy. I've refused to transfer list him or anything because I do want to keep him. But nightclubbing, unhappy. I mean, he's not making a friend of himself here, is it? So we'll see how that goes. Now, we do have our budgets for next season as well. And 200 grand a week, almost 11 or just over 11.5 million to spend on transfers. That's gonna go some way to helping us build the team into a bigger and better team that we already have. All right, let's go and see what we're doing here against Storm Graz. And you can see we're expecting a sort of a 4-4-2 diamond, perhaps you'd call that. This is a team we're sending out. Rafferson continues in goal. Ivan Mosquera, Parisi. It's the same team. Julison, Alvarado, Antonio. We've got Michalek, who's getting more and more match sharp with every game. Bakali, we need to see more of him. He is the new club captain. Gudmundsson, who left, was club captain. Bakali's the new club captain. And Koller, who's come through our academy, he is the vice captain. He has really good leadership attributes. Gadini and Baltinson will go up front for this one. We need to see a little bit more from Baltinson and Bakali. If we don't see that, then we'll need to make changes, I think, relatively early on. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. A few names look familiar, whether or not that's just in my head or not. Christian is that Isla? That seems sounds familiar as well, that name. But anyway, put on a show. I think we just ignore the praise, go out there, have a little bit of fun today, and if we play to our potential, then we should be okay against this mob. But we've got to play to potential, don't we? We haven't really done that in the last round, and you get the feeling that Storm Graz are going to punish us if we don't do that. So, nice big stadium as well for the boys to perform on. And yeah, Bakali's first game as club captain. It'll be interesting to see if we, as I say, just get a better performance out of him. Now that is his role in the team. Yeah, Baltinson, is it concerning that he's not? He's getting chances. He's playing well. You know, his build-up play is still very good. Ideally, he'll get 1 or 2 goals here as well, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And if not, I mean, Kedlick is now unhappy, so whether he gets a bit of a sulk on is going to be a big question to come here as well, isn't it? But let's give them some encouragement early on. Possession is about 50-50. You'd say if we can get home tied, you know, we're probably a very good chance. We know we're a good team at home. We've beaten some very, very good teams on our own turf. So yeah, we'll just have to see how this plays out, won't we? Alvarado, imminent, gets it forward, looking for Baltinson. He makes the keeper work. Gadini. Oh, it's blocked behind for a corner. I thought he'd missed it for a second then. Mashalek to whip the corner in. It's into a good area at the near post. It's headed away again. We're going to have another corner. Imminent at the back post. Do we look at him? Gadini's back there as well. I wonder if we do that this time. We do go to the back post. It is again headed away. And they look, just off the sort of early highlights here, they look an organised team from a set piece, don't they? Julison now. Into the team, of course, for the departed Kidland. And they've picked us apart straight through the middle. And Rafferson is there. And, well, that's a very, very big save, isn't it? Can we get this away? We can. Mosquera heads it behind. Another corner. Again, it's in. Oh, and this time it's not away. It is 1-0 to Storm Graz. And, well, we need to improve, don't we? There's been signs there for a little while now that this particular team was crossbar. Alvarado was an awkward one for him, wasn't it? Not really much he could do so close to his own goal line there. Let's give it a focus. And, well, the game is sort of settling down into a bit of a nothing affair, isn't it? I mean, going home 1-0 is not a complete and utter disaster, but it's certainly not what we want. You've been unlucky so far. Do we try and build up a little bit of confidence that way? I wonder if we can try and tweak a little bit tactically. What are we doing right now in possession? I wonder if we try and exploit the middle. We don't necessarily want to play for set pieces. Exploit the middle. Look for the overlap of those wing backs getting forward, and then see what we can do from there. Defensively, I mean, they've not ripped us to pieces by any means, but yeah, I wonder, given how narrow they are, if even, mate, do we dare want to bring wingers on? We've got Icelandic, and who else is on the bench? Do I have Svensson on the bench? We could play Icelandic as an inverted on the left, Svensson with his good pace down the right hand side. Is it offside, please? Something needs to change here, doesn't it? Because it's not particularly working, and it's given, and it's 2-0. Alvaro... Parisi's gone with him. I mean, he's played him on sort of following the run, hasn't he? But yeah, this is not what we needed. Let's try a berating and see if that can fire us up a little bit. We are going to change because it's not working right now. There's no point keep going. Okay, so we're taking off Baltinson and Mosquera. We're bringing on Icelandic and Svensson. You can see everything else there that's sort of been rejigged. And, well, this just needs to be a little bit better for us, doesn't it? Alvarado's not having a great game, and Depe's a better left back anyway. So we'll also make that change. And, well, if we can get a goal back, at least we're in the game going home, aren't we? 2-0 is a long way back, though. And I am just, quite concerned here that it's not going to work out for us. Michalak is not having a good game. Let's get Allmarkson on for him. And, I mean, there's a big difference between 2-1 and 2-0, isn't there? There's a ball over the top. He is surely offside. And it has been ruled back. And if it goes to 3-0, then we're absolutely stuffed. It is disallowed. And, yeah, he was... the audacity to celebrate that goal, you've got to say, is quite something. Right, let's try a focus. And there's a minute to go of stoppage time. And thoroughly beaten. Absolutely thoroughly beaten. And a lot of work to do now in the second leg. Yeah, the question is, have we left ourselves too much to do? So there we go, Storm Graz get the better of Grindavik, and, well, we might be destined for the Europa League here. But we will find out next time. We will have the second leg versus Storm Graz. Lots and lots of work to do at home. We will then send out the Gags to face Vala in the quarter-final of the Icelandic Cup. We've got Vikingur in the meantime, but of course the league done dusted, and that doesn't matter. That is the first game we have lost this season. So that... I mean, if you go back to the Champions League last year, it ends a very, very big run of some good results for us. But it's been coming, hasn't it? We struggled, we finally lost. Can we undo the damage? We're going to have to find out next time. Take care.